Right, because some of that jazz. Hello! I'm sick, as you can tell. But I will try to be as energetic and informative while actually drinking tea to calm my flu. So you guys may have seen Inkwell's note. It seems to be a habit, which is a dangerous one. Again, immediately with the cynicism, I guess, that every single time there's a note, there's also a compensation. So what is going to happen next time if there is another note, guys? And there isn't compensation, then people are going to be upset. Because as soon as you Pavlovianly, which is a word, trust me, I'm a scientist, train people to always expect a reward just for reading the note, it's going to be really hard to go back unless there's some major buffs in the note. But let's see what's in this one. So one of the main things that we're thinking about going into this is, did they change, are they going to change and in some way change the accessibility in general of the familiars? Because the cards right now, 1 per month, 10,000 points is just stupid. Are they going to address balancing things specifically for heroic? If so, what's the plan there? And are they going to change already specifically implemented things in the game that counter bad things in Korea that we don't have at all? Are they going to change those things back? Namely, and mostly, things that they have changed to combat botting. Or ways of botting. So I'm thinking specifically like the changes to like the items, like the harvesting and everything. That's all to do with market manipulation through harvesting veins and flowers and all that stuff, which again, because we're in heroic and we have no trade, basically all the things that are setting up that are all from the viewpoint of because there will be trade, if those changes will be either reverted or addressed or at least acknowledged that they will need to maybe change in the future because we don't have trade. If they are going to stay the direction, stay the course, and acknowledge that heroic is huge and it's not going anywhere, and they want to keep doing that. That's the main things that I'm going to be looking for in this note. So let's see. Handy for tomorrow. Hello, MapleStory. Sorry for the sick noises. I can't really not do that right now. This is Hangyo, head of the Western Development, also known as Inkwell. Where's... Oh god, I forget the other guy's name. What is it, Dr. Yang? No, not Dr. Yang. I always forget his name. He'll probably be mentioned in here somewhere. Like, he's right there. He's right there! What's his name again? Certainly was a hot summer, wasn't it? Huge event, but the heat has nothing compared to the love and support we received from all you Maplers during the Go West update. It was huge! Can we check the Maple charts? Real quick, no, not MapleStory. Steam charts for MapleStory. How was it? Of course, only part of the picture. That end of that post-summer dip. Wow, 10K. Okay, sure. Wow, this is crazy too because this 14K, this was everyone. This 14K was everyone literally being AFK for the expedition, the Abyssal Expedition event. And we somehow managed to keep, we got 12.3K for the whole month for June. And then there's a small dip off in August and more in September. That's pretty normal. But you always want to look kind of like year to year. We look at 8.9 now versus September last year, 7.5. That's 1.5. That's 20% increase year over year. That's massive. Dr. Lim, Dr. Jim, Dr. Kim, Dr. Him. Oh, Lim, right? Lim. Yeah, that's his name. My participants of MapleStory. How does we poured over the... We poured? Wait, is that a verb? Wait, I don't even know this verb. Did he use fucking Google Translate, bro? It was event concert board. And it gave us confidence in the course we've plotted for GMS. Would it be poured? Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. The rare Inkwell typo, I think. Or I'm stupid and I'm overlooking something. That might actually be more likely, though. It's actually poured. I feel like this is one of those... I think he has, like, really, really high academic English knowledge. Probably on a higher level than myself, so... I actually... probably shouldn't question anything that's in there. Because especially checking the last notes, they're all written super well. Super respect. Poured is past tense of pour, which can be a verb meaning to read or study carefully. Oh, there you go. I think people misenunciate that one. I think people use it, but I think they say we poured over instead of we poured over. It's like the English, the more British connection is like, as he is wont to do. People say as he is wont to do, but I'm pretty sure it's actually as he is wont to do, like W-O-N-T without an apostrophe. As he is wont to do, I think. Yeah. And I think people enunciate this as well as he's wont to do. And they basically... You'll see people writing this with an A sometimes. It's just one of those weird things. It's a little bit archaic, probably, right? It's a little bit of a... archaic? Yeah. What is another word for saying archaic? Someone in chat will know. Okay, but moving on. Does the person make a great person? Carefully consider what GMS needs and to live up to your belief in us. Okay. That's addressing one of my points, at least getting towards it. All the developers have placed their trust in Team GMS and supported our direction. Thank you for the bottom of our heart. I mean, you gave us a bunch of free stuff and you kept the mezzos. You have to fuck up royally to somehow lose that goodwill, you know? There was some game instability, but that was addressed quickly. And the maintenances were long, but it was addressed and it was fixed. So I think in general, they're still like in a big upswing in general. But again, this is the Western market. If you just give us free stuff and you just keep giving us more, you're gonna keep 99% of the base. Like, the people who are still playing Maple now are only gonna stop playing it if you just like make a number go down at this point. Another word for archaic is dough. Nice. Thank you. And just note, I'd like to share updates on our development progress. Okay. Discuss a couple of noteworthy topics and tell you my thoughts on the future. Oh yeah, there's non-reboot stuff as well for the Frenzy Totems, of course. Yeah, I'm super reboot/heroic brain. Sorry, so I'm always going to be overlooking those things. My bad. Let's begin to follow up on Frenzy Totems, which is going like Inkwell notice. They're probably okay. My guess, they're not going to remove them. They're not going to just put them everywhere, but they're going to slowly bring them back. Because from what I understand, the servers, some of the servers have like almost no service. Servers have no service for totems at this point, right? So they can't really, well, I think it's necessary. I don't know, man. At the rate of growth that you are now, and already being stronger than KMS, it's definitely not necessary, but people are accustomed to it, so it'll just feel bad if they can't have the same level of access to it. This is like a feels thing, and they're probably going to give just enough to address the feels thing, but not too much to upset the balance of like the speed of training and stuff like that, right? I'd like to first share my own perspective on Frenzy Totems. I'm talking about the concerns address. As mentioned last time, Frenzy Totems had a significant impact on interactive worlds in spite of how few there are in circulation. The core of the problem is that, because people who have them keep getting banned because they're RMTing them. But that's none of my business. The core problem is that these totems are controlled exclusively by a minority of players. Necessarily so, because there are so few, right? That's... You can have 10 of them and have 100 people have access to them, because no count sharing, right? It said 2 effects in worlds where Frenzy Totem service has become common. We see an imbalance in the leveling experience between players who have access to the service and those who don't. I think this is a tricky one, though, because aren't you going to just train more because you have access to Frenzy Totem than you would if you don't have access? Like it's a exponential multiplier almost, I feel. Or a factorial, at least. Oh, lovely. That went south instead of into the tissue. And because the Frenzy Totems has been discontinued, regular players can only experience this effect if they use a Frenzy Totem service. Yeah, these are situations we don't like to address. Rather make changes to the Frenzy Totem itself. Okay, whew, okay. Well, I guess that was the third thing I didn't even consider. It could also just mess with the item. Not with the supply, not with the quantity, but with the quality. I'm going to tackle this imbalance by making new totems available to a wider range of players, but we can't just blindly supply the community with Frenzy Totems like we did before. We'd run into danger of triggering rapid inflation with currency and character leveling. Oh yeah, because you make more money when trading, of course. Only because you make about 3 times the money and the EXP, I think, with a Frenzy versus not, right? It's actually a huge multiplier. And just seeing Nero, like how quickly he just maxed out his Hexamatrix is insane. Probably read your Inkwell notes first before he wrote this, yeah. Said we're taking a conservative approach to our adjustment by introducing a new totem as outlined below. A new totem? A new totem? Or why not just more Frenzy Totems, I guess? Just to remove them still? To address the 2 issues mentioned above, and create a new totem that can be obtained with an upcoming winter update. Is it designed as follows? It is designed as follows. Obtained from Philosopher Books. Okay, so let's pay to win, right? And in-game rewards. Update, November 20th, 2020. Oh, November 20th, confirmed! Winter update. Oh, dude, our guess was right. So it is going to be a 6-week update after, a 6-week patch after the current one. And then November 20th is going to be winter. Okay, we were right. Poggers. Obtainable worlds, interactive only. Lame. Mob spawn rate, spawn time reduction, same as Frenzy. Frenzy Totem service unavailable. Effects will only persist while in the same field as the caster. Oh, only for the new totems. Okay. This is going to be an alternative to Frenzy Totem service. Not going to be an alternative to Frenzy Totem service, only for the people themselves. 2 weeks after 255 goes live, 12 weeks after 255 goes live, okay. 12 weeks. So that means 255 is probably going to be a 12-week event. There might be a 256 at like the 6-week mark half, but that probably means that the winter event will last until let's see, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So until February 11th. And then we'll probably have maybe some kind of Valentine's event or something. So winter's most likely going to be November 20th until February 11th. Jeez. Yeah, it makes sense. It's been long. They've been extending them quite a bit. Okay. Total duration 90 days from the Philosopher Book and 30 days from in-game rewards. I wonder if this is going to be the same as like what they did with the familiars, where it's like technically available but so hard to get that you'll want to spend money instead. 90 days. I guess 3 months. Links with pets and everything. Kind of makes sense. These changes will allow more interactive players to gain the benefits of the Frenzy Totems while preventing the problem caused by Frenzy's service from getting any worse. Again, we want to avoid the fallout permanent. That would be caused by having too many permanent Frenzy Totems in circulation over mid to long term. I understand that some Maplers may be disappointed that new totems won't be available as permanent items, but they will also be easier to obtain than when they were only available in the Marvel machine. Well, I would hope so. Yeah, otherwise it's not even worth going for, right? If they were harder to obtain and they're worse, then it's like, yeah. And Philosopher Books won't be the only source for these new totems. There will also be ways to obtain them as rewards for in-game activities. Oh yeah, okay. This is plan going forward with Winter Update, but we will continue to monitor trends from there. It's always good feedback, or always good to just mention that, like, this isn't just like the solution and move on, because that, like, in older MapleStory communication, that's pretty much always been the case. Like, oh, this is what we're gonna do, boom. Usually, like, no insight on why they're even deciding something, and also afterwards not something like, oh, and we're gonna keep monitoring it, and we'll keep adjusting. Now it actually feels like there will be continuous monitor, and there will be adjustments, you know, which is a new good feeling, honestly. Pretty good new feeling. Okay, let's see. I should mention that we are currently, well, not me, but not considering adding this new totem to Heroic Worlds. We are aware that our global Maples have a wide range of opinions when it comes to bringing these totems to Heroic Worlds. Yeah, but that's That has nothing to do with balancing or with necessity. That just has to do with we want more. If we can get more, then people are going to be advocating for more and shouting off the rooftop. I don't feel like they should even mention that, because people in Reboot and Heroic, we should know how good we have it. This is clearly something that is not for our server. Like we're getting 5x and not zoned out as an existing server. That's already a huge thing that we're getting in that, you know? Since the original design intention was to follow up on issues related to Frenzy Totems in interactive worlds, we would like to focus on that for now. They're not even closing the door, though. That's actually surprising to me that they're not closing the door on potentially doing some of these things. Although I think it would be fine to have totems as rewards in Heroic, not as a permanent solution, but like some events maybe have like one totem somewhere that you could get, and then people could just like grind super hard for like a month or for 2 weeks or something. It's almost like just an empowered version of getting a prepared spirit pendant, you know? Like if you have a month of a prepared spirit pendant, I feel like people are inclined to train quite a bit more. Especially if you have some sunny Sundays with extra EXP, right? Gives the old mob EXP, but not old mob HP. I think in general, it's probably going to feel better for players to kill more monsters, even if the drop rate and the EXP are all adjusted for number of kills. It's still going to feel better to have monsters respawn faster and see more more monsters on a map, than to have the EXP and money per mob being higher than it is now, but then sitting and waiting on monster rotation. The shitty thing is, though, because if they do change the timer of respawn, then some people will have to like redo potentials on hats and everything because of cooldowns and skills and all that stuff, and then you're constantly making people shift to the meta every time, which is shifting that too fundamentally, I think, is a bad thing. But when we're getting a buff to boss crystals on regular, no idea. And then Mystic Familiar card. Okay, that's number 2 that I had on the list. Next, we'll follow up on the excuse me, Mystical Familiar card that were introduced in the most recent update. And we're updated on our intention with this feature, which I don't think properly communicated when we introduced it. Oh, I mean that's bad. I mean, acknowledging that wasn't communicated properly is one thing, but you should just not do that next time. You know, apologies go a long way, but I'd rather they just do it properly. You know. Oh, sorry, adjustments that we're currently planning. Oh, adjustments. Okay. We were just designing the mystical familiar cards. We had in mind that we might make them available as rewards for a variety of in-game activities, in addition to having them in the in-game familiar point shop. They added 1, right? One. And then up to 10 free ones, and then up to 3, I think, that you could buy for 10,000 each. When they say make them available, 1 is... You can't even use plural. You make it available, right? Addition to having them in a familiar point shop. In addition, like, it's such a huge thing that they're doing for us, like that they're adding them to the familiar shop. Whoever this was really communicated, we introduced a new feature. I've seen the complaints around the golden giveaway rewards and how hard it is to obtain these cards right now, and I can't help but agree. Therefore, we're going to adjust how these cards are obtained to make them more accessible. Okay. Mystical familiar card changes in familiar point shop. Okay. On October 1st, at midnight. Okay, so that's in what, 6 days? Is that a... Yeah, that's Tuesday, okay. Status, current updated. Okay, price from 10k down to 4. Okay, I think we mathed out, right, that it was about 2.5 costs, right? That you're at about 2.5 sorry. At about 4,000, yeah. 3.5 to 4,000, I think. Well, yeah, 3.5 to 4k, I think. Points. So that the 10k didn't make any sense, except for legendaries, because they have way more weight towards boss damage, right? So for legendary, it would make sense, but if you don't have legendary, then it didn't make any sense to buy them. Monthly purchase limit from 1 to 3. I still think this doesn't make any sense. I think you should be able to price out the item high enough or at the right spot that you can just make the purchase limit not have a purchase limit, basically. Because I think if you're gonna limit to 3, you might as well just make them like 1,000. Because then people who otherwise don't go for familiars are actually gonna go out of their way and go for familiars because they're so cheap, right? So you're basically just forcing them to play more. And the people who are already doing it are gonna get them anyway, so they don't really care how much they cost. So I feel like if you lower the price this much, you should either lower it even more if you keep this limit, or keep this number but then either have no limit or have like 1 per day or something. 1 per day. I do hate, personally, I hate the 1 per day. I'd rather have 30 per month, so you could just like stack up and then buy them all at once whenever you need to. The 1 per day is I feel like it's a little fucky, because then you are basically forcing people to come back every day and to min-max every day, which, you know, from a game perspective is a good idea, but I think from an emotional manipulation of your player base perspective is bad. But I mean, this is, you know, numerically, objectively, this is closer to what it should be. I don't think we're quite there yet, but I think this is better. And then a note, all players who purchase the cards before this change will be given 2 additional cards retroactively. We got an announcement about this after... Wait, this change will be effective through the upcoming sales period of November 19th, at which point we'll re-examine how these cards are obtained and bring them back in a future update. Oh yeah, bring them back. Oh yeah, because it's still temporary as well, yeah. I don't know. We continue to monitor how players interact with the new mystical familiar card feature. Honestly, since they have shown with the whole familiar system that they were grossly inept on the release of this whole system, as much as we would like it to be hugely overhauled and like perfect overnight, it's probably a good idea for them to make like small adjustments and smaller adjustments and have like trial periods to make sure that they're zoning in on, or homing in on where they want it to be, rather than to just do what they did before and then just throw something at us and then it's completely unbalanced and then they just leave it, or they just completely remove it again, and then all the development hours are just wasted, you know? So I guess going as annoying as this might be, it's slower, but it's a better approach, I think, than to just them throwing things at the wall and seeing if it sticks, rather than giving out a Frenzy Totem and then try to reel it back and try to delete it later. Oh, and a harvesting is the other thing. They will say, though, here, all players who purchased cards before this change will be given 2 additional cards retroactively. So that means October 1st midnight, which is Monday to Tuesday, if you buy one of these cards, you will get 2 additional cards. So if you're planning on buying these, which I think is good value, if you buy one for 10k, you'll get 2 extra. So you basically get 3 for 10k. So you're getting them at 3,333. That's the cheapest you're going to get them. So I would advise people who are working on familiars now to at least get to 10k and buy one, rather than keep on making uniques right now. And then if you hit 10k and you bought one, then you can just continue on and make uniques, so that when the event goes through, or the change goes through, I mean, then you can get your 2 extra for free and basically get them at a discount. Jeebus. It's not even done yet. I still feel it up there. Yeah, there's more. Oh, nice. And then it dislodges, and you just like cough it into your fucking sleeve. Very nice. Sacrifice I make to get this content out there for you guys. Ugh. It looks like per card, but after October, this will switch over. So then, you know, you won't be able to buy them for 10k anymore. You'll only be able to buy them for 4k. But it doesn't look like per card, just 2 at the most, it looks like. So if you already bought one at 10k, then I wouldn't buy another one, because then you're basically just getting them for 5k each, which is more than they will be in the future. And it'd be better to just save up to 12k points, so that on October 1st you could immediately buy 3. Although I don't know if the monthly limit, if you already buy 1, will then just... Oh no, October 1st it'll reset, yeah. So then if you go up to 12k points, you'll immediately be able to buy 3 as soon as it hits server midnight, yeah. Oh. Wait, you saying per card? It looks to me like it's once. All players who purchased cards before this change will be given 2 additional cards retroactively. I think it should be per, but it doesn't say per here. I guess I'll ask a CM. Do I have any of the CMs on CM Jade? Let's ask Patera. She's not. Cards be at most once per person or per account, or in the case of if 2 cards bought, could someone receive +4 as compensation? It might have been a Discord question already, but we'll see. Okay. Transition will be effective throughout the upcoming November 19th. Blah blah blah. Yeah. Well, it's November 19th because that's the last day that we can actually buy them, right? It's an event period end. Then field harvesting system. Okay. Okay. And mainly for this. Well, for Juniper and for Brilliant Dusk Essences, right? Reduce some changes in field harvesting, allows updates as part of the profession revamp, and we gathered player feedback. After the update, we noticed many Maplers were frustrated with the changes. After careful review, we decided that these changes didn't fit the GMS gameplay environment. Yes, exactly, because trade, no trade. We have some ideas on how to improve the gameplay experience. In the short term, we'll introduce an event during our major winter update, so that's going to be November 20th, that will make it easier to collect primary harvesting items. Now, when they say primary, it looks like they mean these items. I don't think people really need these items, because we have Threads of Fate, and that covers everything that you might need, or most of what you might need here. The main problem, I think, is the Brilliant Dusk Essences. And Black Powder. Yeah, and Powders, maybe. Basically, everything that was dropping from the Gold Flower, Mysterious Vein, Legendary Mysterious Vein, Mysterious Flower, Legendary Mysterious Flower, and then the Heartstone, right? It's basically just those 6, right? Those are the most important one. Not the ones that typically drop these, but the ones that drop the refined stuff. But because they say here primary harvesting items, I don't know if they just mean raw materials and they include in that Dusk Essences, Brilliant Dusk Essences, or if they mean if they're excluding those. Because if they're excluding those, I don't think this fix will change any of the problem. And then maybe we should communicate that better to the team, I guess. But I think Brilliant Dusk Essences is the main problem, because I'm pretty sure that's most people's bottleneck now if you're trying to make those what is it? These guys, right? The small concentrated experience accumulation potions. That's a mouthful. Oh yeah, I spent a bunch of money because I hit full arcane on my Dark Knight yesterday. You don't do threads? I mean, I would advise to look into it. It's really fucking good. Okie dokie. Okay, you can expect this quality of life change somewhere in the first half of 2025. I hope they address the core of the issue, so like the essences and everything as well with that. Otherwise, if we have to wait for that, well, basically 6 months. Because then February, right? Yeah, so if you have to wait for that for 5 months, 4.5 months, and then it's just more raw materials that we can already drown in from Threads of Fate, then I don't think it's going to be worth our development time. Then others. Of course, we're constantly listening to what our players are saying across the various global MapleStory communities. We've got several other topics currently being reviewed and discussed internally. Some ideas like bringing content from other regions to GMS require careful consideration. There are a lot of moving parts involved in such an addition. After all, yep. We also want to be cautious when it comes to character power curves and legacy items. Oh yeah, we're aware of that. Other topics like the job rebalance that was recently announced in Korea MapleStory are undergoing rapid internal review. I think we'll get most of that. Probably, right? Because if anything, REBOOT could probably do a little bit more damage for that endgame content stuff. I'm guessing that most of that is going to come through. There's just going to have to be additional balancing and testing done around Hayato, Lin, and Kana. And that I assume that they're also slightly addressing in this like possibility of Mon-Sun coming to GMS, which I'm pretty sure will happen. It's just a matter of time. You know? It's not a matter of if, but when. Although it will take a while, we are looking over and addressing every piece of player feedback one at a time. Once we got things more or less organized and finalized, we'll share another update. Maybe we should have like a structured feedback to this with like concerns that we could just like post somewhere. But where would you post it? I guess I would just send it to the CM directly or like through the team, because I'm not posting that stuff on Reddit. That's just gonna evolve into a shit show. You can't really have constructive build up of opinions in there. It's like everybody hates it, or everybody like it's a huge dick suck fest, or everyone's just shitting on it. It can only really go one of those two ways. And then you have like two super constructive feedbacks with like one or two upvotes that you can find somewhere in the bottom. Now there are some topics outside of the game I'd like to discuss. Oh, there's more. But wait, there's more. MapleStory Western Project and Future Direction. Oh yeah, I guess Maple Fest, of course. They're probably going to talk about that as well. Thread development. Oh, but this is the fourth thing. Okay. They're addressing. Have they so far addressed everything? Well, we'll see if this like follows through to what I'm hoping that it is. Thread development and Race of Go West. We've continued to think about how we can bring happiness to our long-term Maplers while also introducing new players to Maple World. Of course, the plan is just the beginning. That's why we're building a team to make our plan a reality. Up until now. Oh yeah, did they finally hire that full-time developer? Did anyone check if those Nexon job posting is still there? Up until now, Team GMS has only had a handful of developers who dedicated their time to localizing content from the Korean service for release in GMS. They're copy-pasting, yeah. While we can make partial modifications to content from GMS, the reality is that it's difficult to implement significant changes directly or create original content for GMS in its current state. Well, I thought they were already laying the groundwork for possible future more structural change with this last update we already had. I thought that's why we had such longer maintenance and everything. But if we continue simply localize, but if we continue to copy paste from KMS, the recent change in direction for Heroic Worlds, for example. Will be pushed further away from our vision for GMS's future. We get denied the need to take our service in a different direction. Okay, that's good. It's good admission. GMS will run into more and more obstacles like this if we simply follow our existing localization methods. Yes. I mean, and this is what I don't envy in what they're trying to do now. This is a huge kind of new thing for them, because they had some regions where they just copied everything from Korea. They had some where they just gave infinite pay to win. And then we had GMS that they just threw everything at, and they just kind of like patched it as it went on. If it was too broken, they would just remove it, and if it wasn't broken, then they just left it in there forever. That's why we still have event maps from 18 years ago that are just all still in the game somehow. GMS will run into more and more obstacles. Yep. To provide a service that's truly fit for the GMS we're creating after Go West, we just start laying the groundwork now. Oh, okay. I thought they already had with the last event. I guess maybe it was too short notice to do that with the last event, and they're going to do that with the next event from now on. We start following our old content localization process in many places, even as the differences between KMS and GMS continue to build. It's going to take a lot of work to maintain a stable service, even as we continue to transition and kicked off. Yeah. No, like I said, I think the summer update, I was expecting to start seeing the beginnings of huge in server instability and game instability and inaccessibility and that kind of stuff. But all we really saw was like one or two extra maintenances that we were expecting, and the maintenances were slightly longer than desired. But all in all, the stability of the game and everything has been pretty great. I think some memory leak has snuck back into the game. But other than that, I think we're in a good spot still. But of course, you know, that could still change. Yeah. At present, many of our development costs are put into tuning and maintaining the parts of GMS that have become different from KMS. It's true that we haven't made much headway when it comes to creating new content or make major changes yet. I think that's okay. We just want, for the transition period, I think we just want the game to stay serviceable and stay playable. I think that's more important than bringing a whole lot of new content out right now. Keep defense going and keep the servers up and stable. I think we're not expecting much more as GMS players right now. If you give us some balancing every now and then, and you know, make a number go up a little bit, like somewhat steadily, then everyone's happy, I think. Throw in some cute NX and some crossover events and everything, and you're golden, you know? Like, I don't know if you guys saw, like, the day that Buckhead Kapoo came out, the cascade of blue messages in the chat. There's also this. What is that? MapleStory World's global soft launch teaser. Unlisted. Wait, MapleStory World's what? For reference, this was going to be released late last year. And we do have 3 CMs right now as well, which I said in the beginning kind of feels like Maple Worlds might be coming, and that might be them pushing an extra person. What is this? I've not seen it. Why did they private it or unlist it? Dude, what resolution is this? Why is it 480p? It's 2024. Oh no, getting over it. Available in the Americas only. No shot. I'm gonna reach out and see if I can get in there. Damn, that is wild. This is for Roblox. I think there's a bunch of cool shit that we could make. Like with us, with stream and everything, maybe as like a co-op-y stuff, and we can just like split the profits with everyone. I think we could make some really cool like mini games for people to try and things like that. Come to Brazil. The entire continent of South America is something I don't really have an interest in going. It has like a very like jungly climate, which I cannot handle at all. Like humidity just destroys me. Like I don't think I'll ever go to Florida either, like South anything like that equator level. It would just absolutely destroy me. So it's not on my list. And Brazil, no offense, probably if you're in the right places in the city and everything, maybe in a more touristy area, and as long as you're spending money, it's probably okay. But I don't get like a great vibe even though, from what I understand, Brazil is like the melting pot of like the most people from all over the place in there. I feel like as a foreigner, it's kind of spooky. 35 Celsius only right now. Yeah, that is like the hottest day in Belgium ever in the year. That's like our peak. Like we get ready to die tomorrow and not do anything and have like 3 fans on your face all day long. Okay, but we are digressing super hard. But Maple Worlds would be, yes, that would be really cool if they're going to do that as well. Yeah, we already read that. The time to continue according to plan. We hope you will all start seeing the improvements by the middle of next year at the earliest, or the year after at the latest. Oof. So they're, yeah, that's going to be, dude, we're going to be 37 then, bro. Bro, we're going to be like 40 soon. Once we're prepared and have specific actions that we can share, I'll tell you more about it while we're working on the topic, or on the topic, sorry, of MapleStory Western Project and changes in the dev team. There's someone like you all to meet. Oh, there he is, Dr. Lim. You remember this fellow who made an appearance ago? As I do remember him. He's got a, what do you guys call this? A roll popsicle? A spiral popsicle? What is this? Roll candy? In fact, several among you have already spotted him in the GDC presentation and in my first notes to you. Oh, definitely. Yeah, he was always hiding. My Argentine Spanish teacher in high school, Brazil has fake diversity, and Argentina is the real melting pot of South America. She also graded on what was essentially a color scale. Oh, yikes. Allow me to formally introduce Dr. Lim. Kwang Hyun Lim, or Dr. Lim as he's known in game, is a veteran MapleStory developer whose contribution. I feel like Inkwell and Dr. Lim were there for the original Wizard, right? Developer whose contributions to the game go far, far back. When I started the MapleStory Western project this year, I asked him to return to MapleStory development once more. He joined Team GMS in February, and is now working as the development lead for the MapleStory Western project. I never know exactly what these job titles mean. It's been a few months since we kicked off the project, but we're continuing to expand the team so we can live up to your expectations. To share a bright future for GMS, we're building our team in both Korea and the US at the same time. And as I mentioned earlier, our goal is to build our development capabilities to allow us to move forward in our direction, which we'll build next year. Yeah. We're gonna get to work. There's a lot to be done. We do our best to meet expectations. It's not a short-term project with a short-term vision. We aim to make GMS a game that is beloved and in the long term, no matter how long it takes. If you're willing to put your faith in our team and have a little patience, I mean, the people who are still playing Maple have a lot of patience. Because any reasonable person would have already jumped ship and moved to a different game. We do best to make GMS more fun, more enjoyable, and more of everything you love about MapleStory. We're ready to leap to the next level. Then, winter update and MapleStory Fest. Let's take a moment to discuss our plans for the near future. We're hard at work on a major update coming in November 20th, featuring content from the GMS Mon-Sun update. So I have one more update from October 8th to November 20th for 6 weeks. So we don't know exactly what that's going to be. Maybe a night troop? I guess we'll have to see. Maybe another you know, it'd be really cool, but they basically just said that they're not going to do that because it's hard to do content from other regions. But what would be really cool is if they did the other lab server, that the second lab server that TMS had, where you get to pick a Cygnus Knight and then get those lab blocks and stuff for your Legion. Major update. Yeah, as we're focusing on laying the groundwork for bigger plans in the future, but that doesn't mean we won't try to give our Maplers something special in the meantime. To that end, we have some original GMS content in the works that will release as its own major update. It won't be massive, but Team GMS is working with all their hearts to prepare this for you, our GMS Maplers. Wait. In the meantime, oh, so this is probably going to be the next update then. So it's going to be GMS Exclusive, most likely? Something Halloween-y, but it's going to end before Halloween. Oh, no, wait. No, end of October is Halloween, right? Oh, yeah, so it's going to be GMS Exclusive Halloween-y thing? Huh, okay. I'll also be hosting MapleStory Fest again this year, where I will be. If you guys are going to be there, hit me up. You can take a selfie. You can at me on X on Twitter if you post it. Los Angeles, California, we prepared twice as many seats as last year. Damn. Okay. I thought last year that they were kind of scaling up conservatively with how quickly it sold out. So apparently they doubled the seats compared to last year. I don't know, for the people who went last year, it definitely looked like there could be more people there. But it was nice to have space to walk around and everything. But double the seats is quite nice. They sold out quickly thanks to your great enthusiasm. Once again, we thank you for the bottom of our hearts for your support. I mean, if it keeps going that way, they're just going to keep going bigger and bigger. But I think it's a good thing that they're just slowly increasing and not saying like, okay, let's make it 10x the size, you know? A new potable badge event. Yeah, that's probably something it definitely isn't. Excuse me. We'll share details about the winter update and MapleStory Fest in October. Be sure to keep your eyes peeled. Will do. Closing remarks. As a writer, can help me recall what is happening in the GMS community. When I first started work on MapleStory Western Project half a year ago. Has it really already been 6 months? Yeah, I guess it was before summer. Yeah. At the time I saw many Maplers express their anxiety about an uncertain future, and sometimes negative voices drowned out the positivity. However, once we shared our vision with the community, I gave a bunch of free stuff. We were encouraged by the great outpouring of faith and support from all of you. That gave us the strength to talk about a better tomorrow for GMS once more. Maplers Go West was possible thanks to your faith and support. We've only just taken our first step. If you're willing to place your trust in us and allow us time to work, we are determined to reward you with an even better MapleStory in the future. I prepared a small gift to thank you for all of the support you've given us this summer. All right, what did we get? 2 Magnificent Growth Potions. Ooh, that means I get my first level 250 Thief. 10 Experienced Node Zones. Nice. 10 VIP Boosters. Nice. Oh, and they added duration as well. 14-day duration. Mitras Triple EXP Coupon. I'm still missing one of those. I still need one for compensation, but I'll take this one, I guess, until then. Tradable with an account. 28-day duration. Did I take the triple from the Mitra box last week? I don't even remember. Symbol Selector Coupon. 500 Arcane or 100 Sacred. Very nice. And then Sol Erda. Sol Erda or Sol Erda Fragment Selector Coupon times 2. It doesn't say how many. Has anyone already picked this up? How many is this? I'm going to guess it's 1 Sol Erda or 20 fragments. Probably. 30. Oh, that's nice. The exchange on the booster is 1 to 20. 2 sets of 30. That's pretty nice. 60 fragments. I'll take that. And then 5 mystical familiar cards. So that's the equivalent of 50,000 points, which is the equivalent of how much familiar farming? $240 hours? Is that correct? Something crazy. Okay, very nice. Oh no, wait. Times 5. 400. That can't be right. Can it? Could it be right? My brain. And then Zakum arms. What? It's only 1 arm though. Is it like a big baseball bat? Shaped like a Zakum arm? Is it like an NX weapon? Interesting. Claim period, so you can claim it now until October 9th. 12 p.m. UTC, start of the maintenance. Okay, until the maintenance starts on October 9th. How to claim, talk to... Okay, let me send my mom a message, but she probably has found it. Because of... admin in the event map. Oh, or CM Potaro responded, and she's gonna check if the compensation for cards is +2 or +4, if it multiplies by the amount of cards you've bought. I would hope that it does multiply because they're readjusting the price, right? But maybe they won't because they don't want to increase the general supply to 3. But if it's multiple months and they want to change it to 3 per month, then they would give to like a lot at once. But I think they should. But I hope they do, I guess. Okay. Okay. Ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba. Experience notes and simple selectors can only be claimed on 200 plus, obviously, and the other one only if you complete the 6 job advancement. Thank you for reading my long post. Thank you for listening to me reading that long post. We can't wait for you to see what we've got in store for you at MapleFest this October, and we're looking forward to an ever better and brighter MapleStory. Thank you, Hongbiel O, head of the Western Development with Team GMS, and Lim. What was his last name again? Kwanghyun Lim. Okay, so from a heroic perspective, I think they addressed everything that I had. Maybe not as much as I had hoped. The general future direction, I guess I had hoped that they had already laid more foundation with the previous update than what they're saying that they're going to start laying now. So I guess that whole step that I was hoping they would already be at is 6 months delayed, which I think that's unfortunate, but that might have to do with how much time it takes to plan all these things ahead and how much content and everything and development is already lined up before you actually get to making the decisions, right? We're always seeing things on a huge delay anyway. So that might have been me just not knowing enough about the business or about the time frame that these things get planned on and get released on. But a happy little surprise there for the Maple Worlds soft launch, at least. That would be really cool if I can get my foot in the door there. I'm definitely going to be reaching out and see if I can do anything with that. So if you guys are interested in any kind of way for MapleStory Worlds, let me know. For the people who have no idea, basically MapleStory Worlds is going to be similar to like Roblox, where you have a whole bunch of assets. They said something like 20 million assets, and you could basically just make mini games. So at KMS, one of the first things they did is they basically completely remade. They remade OSMS, old school MapleStory, basically like before Big Bang. They just remade that, and you could just play that. And that's what a lot of players in Korea that were playing Reboot were playing in protest when Reboot was getting like big nerfs, and they were like transferring them over to a non-Reboot server essentially. I don't know if they're still doing that because that's still happening. That changes at least. But that could be really cool to make like mini games together with you guys. If some of you are interested in legitimately like sitting down and trying to play and not play, but like make those mini games for that, maybe like professionally to try to get like a profit from that, to try to get revenue from that. Definitely interested in trying to organize teams for games to make those things and everything. So if you're specifically as a professional, like trying to maybe look into that to make those things, or you're doing it for like a school project, for class project, anything like that, just to see if it can even be a thing. I'll keep you guys updated on anything I hear and know about the possible future of that. But if there is a soft launch, and it is coming soonish, like next month, there could be something like a creator program. There could be something, like Beam Brigade. So I will definitely keep you guys in the loop if all that stuff is coming. But yeah, I think everything was addressed. A little bit delayed. For interactive, I'm of course not as much in the know. But I think a lot of the stuff that Nero said, in like his big stream, his big pause champ stream, right, where he was gonna level and then he took that time to really address all the issues. I think most of the things had been addressed. I thought the only 2 things that were really left were Frenzy Totems and a supply of Frenzy Totems, and then kind of connected to that, but like a general deathness of some of the servers and a potential server merger. They did say that they were going to, get back on that if that became more of a topic, but they didn't address it here at all. So I'm assuming that they still want to give it more time, and maybe with this extra totem stuff, give that change more time to kind of see what effect that has on interactive worlds, and then see if that leaves up the demand for fusing all the servers and for or some of the servers at least, if that remains the case, I guess. But it would have been cool if they would have addressed that at least a little bit. Sacrix was expecting more from this note and got tired of waiting, so he quit. Yeah, for interactive, I can imagine that that would have been a really big part that you would have liked to see something for. And of course, yeah, I'm not saying that it's less important, but for me personally and for the content that I make, it's just not something I'm focused on. but it does seem like something that they definitely overlooked, and that yeah, hopefully in some way this feedback is, I'm not the only person giving this feedback, and hopefully more people giving this feedback will maybe make Inkwell add like an addendum or a PS to his post to at least address that part of the concerns of interactive players. Yeah, other than that, I think it's well written. Oh yeah, and I hope that the Dusk Essences and the Brilliant Dusk Essences and everything and those kind of drops are included in the field harvesting system that they are going to be working on. But other than that, yeah, all of the points I had were addressed. New GMS exclusive content coming out. That's going to be a 6-week update. We have confirmation on the date for the winter update. We pretty much have confirmation for the end of the winter update as well. So there's, as much as not everything is expressly mentioned, we kind of have a roadmap thingy. Kind of, but I guess this is still, yeah, it's going to be something spooky with Halloween, right? And we'll see what we have other than that. But yeah, if you guys have any remaining questions or any remarks, or you think I said something really weird, or something that you hardcore felt, in your soul, once again, sorry for being sick and probably sounding very nasal and congested and all that stuff. I noticed that this was going up yesterday, and I was seeing if I was gonna record something yesterday, but I was just like, I need to rest more. And also today I probably should be resting more, but hopefully in a few days it'll be all over, and then I can be good as new and back to being 75%, 100%, whatever my default is. But yeah, MapleFest, I'll be there, so let me know if you guys will be there. Don't forget to pick up your rewards. So to do that, for the people who forget or don't know, I guess general pieces of advice again, if you haven't bought a card yet, I would say buy a card. It's going to be 10k. I'm going to extract these boys, and I'm going to not make uniques again for a little bit, and to pick up the oh, these are extra familiars, yeah, that I was gonna turn into juice as well, just to get something out of them. Triple EXP, those are more cards as well, so extract all of these. All of the points can be found here in the shop, right? So you want to buy this one for 10k before 1st of October. Extraction, select all, boop. And then to pick up the rewards, you do quick move, dimensional mirror, and then you find the event hall right here, and then you talk to the administrator, and then there should be and then talk to the admin again while you're already talking to the admin, and then Inkwell's thank you gift, and then you should be able to pick them up one at a time. I believe that's usually how they do it. Yep. And then you can pick up whatever you want. So this is a weapon cover. And here are all the other items, so you can pick them up when you want until October 9th, until before the maintenance starts. Admin is in quick move now. Oh, actually, did they add that? That is pretty nice. Oh, let's see if we can do that instead. That'll be faster even. Oh, it is. That's actually good, because it's just an unnecessary extra step. Oh, there we go. Okay. Well, we learned another new thing today. Beautiful. And as my last duties here, they are transferable, so I'm just going to take all 5, and I'm going to try to make some unique familiars here live on stream. Oh my god. I believe we just double click it, and then we drag in a familiar, and then we see disappointment, but maybe not. Maybe not. Item mezzo and drop rate by a large amount. I don't need that. Alright, easy boss damage. First try right here. Ooh, 30 IED. I'm on a DA, and I definitely don't need that, but I'm not going to roll over that either, I'm just going to keep that as a... You have multiple large drop? No, that was a double both. I still have the spiders for double both. 30 ID is not the worst roll. It's not what we want, but it is not the worst roll in the world. Okay, this one has 5 status resistance and invincibility on hit. Let's just get that double boss damage real quick. Easy clap. For people who can't see, that is basically a decent haste familiar. Okay, let's roll over that. Okay, this is about how I expected it to go. Yeah, okay. And a large heal. Of course, no boss damage. As expected. Feels bad, man. Well, hopefully you guys had more luck. And if you didn't, you're not alone. I'm right there with you. But yeah, hopefully all of this was somewhat informational. Again, let me know if you have any feedback. And if you want to talk to me about it live or yell at me or, you know, whatever. I am always on Twitch, twitch.tv/Scar. You can find me there. Thanks for checking it out. See you in the next one.